How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And it is stout time. Barrel Aged Stout time. Gingerbread Apple Brandy Barrel Aged Stout time in the form of Hardywood Park's Apple Brandy GBS. Yeah. I don't like Gingerbread Stout. Hardywood Gingerbread Stout. I should say that. Let me rewind. Babbling over myself. I like it way more than just liking it. It's not one of my favorite beers on earth, but what it does absolutely well. It spices the ginger with the honey, and everything about it kind of just screams Christmas for me. So while it isn't one of my favorite standalone beers this time of the season, Christmas time, base GBS, and I just posted a review the other day, side by side, years on it. I absolutely love it this time of year. I'm not a seasonal beer guy, but that beer does it for me seasonally. Now, they've done a couple variants with it. They did a coffee one, which I did on a radio show doing Sundays. Didn't review it, but had it there. Absolutely fantastic. They do a Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Aged one, which I've never had. Then they do the Apple Brandy Barrel. My favorite barrel. Pretty much hands down. I love brandy. Brandy, straight up brandy barrel. It's up there. Trying to think what else. Cognac's up there. Bourbon's nice. But apple brandy just does it for me. There's some that just... the apple brandy just works. JW's does a Calvados cask one. It's the apple brandy barrel. Absolutely love it. So I'm super excited to give this a whirl. To the point where I literally procured this bottle about 2 hours ago from my buddy George. I just call him my beer dealer at this point. George picked this up. He went to actually Hardywood and picked this bottle up for me and gave it to me for motherfucking Christmas. So I am super, super thankful that he picked this up for me and just really just chomping at the bit to get into it. Thank you very much, George. You don't understand how much this means to me, or hopefully means to me, because I have no idea what it tastes like, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be fucking awesome. Anyway, as far as what it says on the bottle, it says 2015 Hardywood Apple Brandy Barrel GBS. Gingerbread Stout aged in apple brandy barrels. 10.4% alcohol by volume. 55 IBUs, which is their IBUs in their standard one. Gingerbread Stout. Hardywood Apple Brandy Barrel Gingerbread Stout is a perfect pitch with the holiday spirit. This beer mirrors the silky smoothness of our gingerbread stout with the cinnamon kisses of oak stays of apple brandy barrels. The Imperial Milk Stout is aged to perfection and sings with hints of warm honey, chocolate, and ginger notes. I think, could be wrong, I think this is the first year they've actually bottled this. I believe they made it before, but this is the first year they're bottling it, so yeah. Label-wise, it's cool. It's the gingerbread stout dude juggling some apples inside a little apple brandy barrel. I dig it. I like their labels. They're like old-timey kind of Western poster kind of labels, so yeah, let's see what the sucker has to offer. I'm super excited to give this a whirl. Because the beer is so nice, and like, I've had the Bourbon Barrel Aged. There's, I don't think I've had the GBS Bourbon Barrel Aged. I might have. Anyway, I've had a bunch of their beers, and they've all been pretty fucking awesome. So, let's see what this has to offer. Using my fatty little snifter here because I anticipate two things. One, I'm not going to get a bunch of color out of it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And two, I'm probably not going to get that big of a head out of it. So let's throw it in there, see what you've got. Nice finger. Really creamy, like coffee ice cream colored head. Infinite creaminess, super pilliness, like kind of bursting bubbles throughout. Pretty compact bubbles, neurotic throughout, but I mean, it's dark. It wasn't super dark. I thought it would be a little bit darker based off of my preconceived notion, but you lean a little bit of color through the pour, but once it's in this fatty glass, you're not getting much light through it whatsoever. So, yeah. Let's see what this nose has. I'm getting a lot of that cinnamon. I'm getting a bit of honey. Definitely getting that ginger in there. I'm getting barrel. I'm getting some oakiness. Wow, that cinnamon's big. It's almost like spicy to the point where I feel like burning. And I get the barrel, like a bit of oakiness, but I don't get a ton of apple brandy in it. Very subtle. That cinnamon's huge. Yeah. So I'm getting a nice sweetness out of it, but then not overly sweet. I think the base is a bit sweeter. The cinnamon smells like it's kicked up a notch. Definitely getting a ginger in there, getting a subtleness of that honey and a bit of oakiness, but not over the top kind of like apple brandy booziness or anything like that. So she smells like a barrel aged version of the gingerbread stout. Is there apple in there? I don't know. She looks good. She smells good. Let's find out. Cheers. There's apple brandy in there. It's not overpowering though. I expected a little bit more. It's not over the top. It could be a new thing because I know this literally just came out like 2 days ago. So it could be a thing where it was meant to sit for a little bit, but you got to try it when it's new to know where it goes. So I like it. I really like it. It almost seems like I'm coming out of it negative, but I expected this like otherworldly kind of punch to it. You're getting it's almost like a caramel candy apple to it. Like you're getting like gingerbread stout, the base gingerbread stout. The ginger's involved. There's honey in there. There's like some lactose sweetness in there, and then that cinnamon. If I didn't already say that, that's your base. With this, that's almost like a how do I put it? It's almost like it's instead of being like a gingerbread thing, it's almost like a drink, like a hot toddy kind of deal. With this is almost like if I were to imagine like a caramelized, caramel covered apple, but the caramelized covered apple has a lot of those, the ginger, the honey, and the cinnamon going on with an extra dose of cinnamon when you bite an apple. So you get all the same flavors, a little bit more caramel kind of vibe going on with it. And you get that bit of apple in there. It's like a sweeter apple. It's not candied oat apple, like a sugary, like candy kind of apple. But it's not like an apple it's a green apple, but it's sweet. It's not tart or I don't have that tartness to it, that acidity to it. And it's not all the way there. It's like mid-tongue. It's like every time you kind of move a beer around your mouth, it's like you get wafts of it. The cinnamon is absolutely deciding spice in here. The flavor that's in there the most. It's from the beginning to the finish. It's on top of everything else. But it works. Really nice body to it. Being that it's kind of like, I mean, they say milk stout on the side here. They never really talked about it being like a kind of like traditional style milk stout, but there has to be a lactose sweetness in there. You get that kind of creamy, fluffy sweetness from it. That honey is there. The ginger's there. I'm not a big ginger guy with my beer, but this one has always had that kind of balance, or had the ginger in the right spots for me to where it doesn't really not work for me. So that still rings true with this one. Yeah, it's really well done. The only thing I would dial back is that cinnamon, just a skosh. Just because it's not so much that I don't want that cinnamon to pop like that, but it's just I think the balance is just minuscules off. And I think, again, being 2 days old and cinnamon can drop off, decently. It's probably a thing where you're kind of planning for it to sit more than 2 days before someone cracks it. So I'd love this. Even if I had more than one of these, that'd be awesome, but it's brewery only release and fairly limited. So it'd be cool to see how this hashes out in about 6 to 8 months, or 6 months to a year. But all in all, it's really nice. Really well done. I think it's elevated over the base of the three that I've had. Like I said, I haven't had the bourbon one yet. Because I'll have that eventually at some time, hopefully. Because I've had it in draft around here. Anyway, they're all top notch, world class awesomeness. But I'd probably go the morning after, which is their basically coffee added to the gingerbread stout. That's probably the leader in the clubhouse. This being a very close second, and then the base coming up on the rear, but it's the highest end of the rear you could possibly ever imagine because it's just that well done. It's a really nice beer, so let's talk about it. Is it one of the better beers I've had as of late? No, but it's absolutely fucking fantastic. The only reason why it's not one of those is because of how many good beers I've fucking had. Humble brag, whatever you want to call it, but it's true. I've had an amazing year of beer. I've never had this much good beer in my life. I owe that to awesome friends, awesome breweries, awesome people throughout being able to share really good beer with me. So that in itself, the fact that this beer doesn't make it into one of the best beers I've had as of late is not because it's not made that well. It's just because I have awesome people in my life that share awesome beer with me. Would I buy it again? Fuck yeah, if I could, but Brewery only released, and I'm pretty much sure it was a one-day thing, so meh. Value and availability. I think it was $17.50 a bottle. It's not too bad. I'd love it to see it around the $15 mark, but it's $7.50 and one-off beer, so take that for what it is. And just say, if you like what, will you like this? If you like gingerbread stout, obviously. If you like cinnamon. If you like candied apple. Because I've had the Apple Brandy Barrel in this. Like I said, I was getting a ton of oak in the nose. Not really getting a ton of that in the mouth. A lot of times apple brandy I get in beers is more of a rich, boozy apple brandy. This is more of a candied apple. It's not as far as like a liqueur kind of apple-y drink, but it's more candied, a bit more sweeter, even though the beer's not nearly being overly sweet. That's the vibe I get off the apple off of it. So it's a bit different, but if you like those notes, if you like those kind of beers, you'll definitely dig this sucker. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Check me out anywhere else. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped. Massive beers in all four of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice apple brandy barreled gingerbread stout. Basically Christmas in a glass. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.